I don't know.
What do you want to accomplish? I always want to facilitate.
That's exactly what
Sometimes if I'm not.
they took our microphones because they really
No, you just go. Can you stand here for a half hour?
Yeah.
Obviously, it's
and meanwhile, you're the guest playing
Did you get the second one already? That's why I didn't tell anyone about it. Just say young thing. Yes. So, okay. Next thing is what can we get? That's my
there you go. Yeah, that's
where most of our back at a heroin. My parents got it covered next to me. Kind of went bankrupt. Nobody goes, right? People are. Not press conferences that last 30 minutes. It's a pain in the ass. You need this national story, I can download it.
We're a good 5 minutes from Nebraska getting it. 5 minutes we can get it done.
Right over that line.
I'm not there.
Coming out of the rain. You're making a guess.
And the singer's like, why not? I'm like, yeah. Plus, I also have to write my story and put on lipstick.
I don't know. We found Billy in the gym. My girlfriend. I saved these.
Well, do you know what I do? Because I work at home today. And you know what I do? All my stuff I need, notes and everything. I put my laptop in there, I take my cell phone, all in the computer. When you're walking through the dining room,
Right. I'm talking, we can pull our thing out.
Oh, signatures, yeah. Yeah. You know what I have right here?
And it ends up in the same location.
Yeah, good. Make you hold my. Either that or make you hold my.
No, 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 no.
And that will absolutely. Oh, yeah, because
Florida, I
he
used to
likes
mojo
it.
every time. I didn't mind it because I was, my chances were willing to talk. I didn't care. But like, you know, I was
Well, they're real.
I'm Clay, by the way. You're one of the WNC.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's my hometown. Where are you from?
Massachusetts.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, good stuff.
Do you want to adjust?
There's nothing like it.
The highest rated private having somebody like you.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Knows
Do we move everything over to
With you, my brother.
Well, at least
Get your shot yet? Oh, okay. I'll work with whatever you guys do.
Yeah.
We're gonna put them in the sun. Play with the sun here. Go downtown. Go to church. Yeah, I think he's in already.
Good. I am not the same height, just keep that in mind. I am not even close, but I'll stand for the center.
I don't even think he's that tall.
I don't.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
You're close. Ugh. I'm just testing everybody's levels. Make sure you're all good.
Oh, it feels good in the sun.
We don't want you guys to think that we forgot about you. He's
Oh,
working
please,
his
you're
way
in
out.
a warm building.
Sorry. He's working his way. He got kind of sidetracked with some Salvation Army photos, but they're, I'd say, pretty close to being done. But they're coming out to you now.
I'll give you guys a white bounce if you want it to.
Thank you, my friend.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I mean, they're saying to you guys to stay here because it's not good.
You're gonna have to re-weight bounce as soon as this cloud goes away anyway. Everybody got one? Good, 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 good. Cool. You're welcome.
them in the sun,
Cool.
but we're not backlit.
Who would still be? I mean, Sandra retired. Carl's still the general editor. Oh, on airwise, I don't. Probably be one left. Oh, Tom Wade. Tom Wade. Of course.
Hey, Billy.
Huh?
I didn't expect you. Who you doing? Who you working with?
Well, Matt, they want to turn this to Bayside.
Okay.
Are they gonna?
No. Well, I don't know. He's in there now.
Oh, he's in. Oh, then I guess not.
He's wandering around and looking around.
Got it.
After that, I don't know.
All right. Well, I'll
What?
auxiliary.
That's why
I like your setup.
Detroit City or just something?
Yeah. I've been using the mic like the
at one time it was
stand,
salad.
and then
Okay.
I go, but in a year and a half, it'll be done. You'll need me to do it. It's like, why aren't you doing it? I haven't done it.
I don't think many people
No, I'm just gonna get. Well, I was
overhaul.
kind of just
But
gonna
that's,
get like
you know,
general.
Two portions of the
shots, but
there's some good
got it.
revitalization. Yeah, I'll roll one and give you the video. I have a couple of friends who are reporters up there.
If you have,
But I go out to like they've
Okay,
driven me
yeah.
around and showed me neighborhoods that they can help them. So that's always good to see.
you got it. Right, that's not a bad idea.
Okay, well, there are lots of similarities between Cleveland and Detroit. We're not, yeah. Well, all right. So in terms of the poverty and social
Teamed up with the same person all week, and then my reporter,
How you been?
worked
lots of things that we're not right about. I mean, we were never one.
I don't care. Some photography.
But we were very,
I'm supposed to be doing the same person. Yeah. And Thursday I'm with this person, and Friday.
there's been a hollowing out of Cleveland itself. I would say. And there are neighborhoods here and that, and at least what I've seen.
Brand, why don't you come on up?
Yes, unfortunately.
Mary, you want to come up? Terry, you guys all come up. Don't be bashful. Yeah, you guys are good. You guys all set? Everybody good? Well, the mayor gave me the East Cleveland mask. I've been wearing it. Thank you, Mayor.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Where'd you go, Mayor?
Right behind you.
Don't be bashful back here now. So this is, Fran and I are delighted to be here in East Cleveland. This is, frankly, very exciting day. We want to thank the Salvation Army for being the host. Want to thank my friend Terry Allan, Cuyahoga Health Department, and his team. They have done an absolutely phenomenal job. And he and I talk every Monday morning, right? 7:15. We talk.
Dot, Governor.
He tells me everything the problems are. We try to solve them, but we don't.
You do.
This week in Ohio, we've received 450,000 doses. And what this means is that we have the opportunity really to get it out to people who have been waiting. And I know some people have been frustrated, it's been hard to get. But we now have over 1,200 separate permanent sites in the state of Ohio where this vaccine is. We also have what we're calling kind of pop-up sites like we have today at the Salvation Army. And it's really an opportunity for us to make sure every Ohioan gets the vaccine that wants it. Our goal is for every single Ohioan. And this is the way that we defeat the virus. The mask, the shots, these are the two things that are going to get us to have a spring and a summer that we can get back to normal. I'm a big baseball fan. We're going to start with the Indians at 30% capacity, but as the season goes on, if we continue to keep getting vaccinations, there's going to be the time where we'll have a full ballpark. And the same thing for, we're going to have proms this year. We're going to have graduations this year. We're going to have county fairs, and we're getting back to where we need to go. But we have to continue to stay focused. As this goes on, we have to continue to wear the mask, and we have to make sure that everyone who wants it has the opportunity to get the vaccine. So I would just ask, if you have a neighbor, if you have a friend that needs transportation, needs help signing up, this is a great opportunity for you to do something to help others and to also help yourself and also help everybody in the state of Ohio. So happy to answer any questions. Mayor, you want to say anything? Come on, don't be bashful.
Thank you. Welcome. Good morning, everyone.
The mayor is usually shy and retiring. Mayor doesn't want to say anything, but I persuaded him. I twisted his arm. Come on, Mayor.
I'd like to start off with thanking the governor for coming up and providing the vaccinations, the vaccines for East Cleveland residents. And on behalf of the East Cleveland residents, we're able to find him in East Cleveland, Mass. So we feel great about that. I'd like to thank our county executive, Armond, Budish, who helped coordinate through the County Board of Health and Mr. Terry Allan to put this pop-up site on today. And it goes without saying, the need, the want, the thank you for the Majors Glasgow's and the Salvation Army for coming into this community this many years ago, I think it was 5-6 years ago, and providing service after service after service to this community. Thank you all for coming out. Let's all get vaccinated. Let's all stay safe and get back to some sense of normality with our lives. Thank you.
Armond, you want to say something?
I just want to thank all of you for coming out today. I want to thank the governor in particular. He's been really such a great partner to Cuyahoga County. He recognizes how difficult this has been here as well as around the state. He has focused on helping people in underserved areas. That's what this is. That's why this today is so important. And I just can't thank the governor enough for all he's doing. So thank you.
Armond, thank you.
Thank you. And to folks who read in the newspaper about the Ohio General Assembly and legislation we passed, I'm here to tell you right now that myself and the Democratic caucus is very proud to stand behind our governor, behind the wonderful work he's done, and the challenges he's accepted, and the science and the doctors that he's listened to. This is about not politics, it's about saving lives. And this man has stepped up to the plate, and he's done what he's had to do. He's made some very tough decisions in Ohio, but in the long run, people will continue to live, people will continue to call Ohio home, and continue to make us proud. Thank you all for all you do, Governor.
That's great.
No, I appreciate the governor coming to East Cleveland and his continued leadership in the COVID fight. And I do believe that there are brighter days ahead of us, and I believe today is a pivot point in the fight against the COVID virus here in Ohio. Honored to be here. Governor, thank you very much for coming to East Cleveland. That's a very handsome mask. I hope to get one of those myself one day.
We're happy to answer any questions.
Governor, when is the centralized scheduling system going to go online?
Very soon. What we're trying to do is to make sure that the providers are signed up, so it won't be too many more days.
How about Cleveland teachers? Do you have anything to say to them? They say they're not going back on Monday. They've already been delayed a week.
Well, I'm kind of the eternal optimist. I think this thing is going to get worked out. You know, I think the Cleveland schools have done a very good job preparing to have a safe environment for teachers and for students. I think Eric has done just a phenomenal job, and his team. So I'm optimistic that this will get worked out. It's so very important for the young people who are students, Cleveland, to be able to go back into class. It's been a year since they've been into class, and it's time. You know, we know a lot more today than we knew at the beginning of this pandemic. One of the things that we know is that as long as we are wearing masks, and students are wearing masks, and teachers are, that they can be safe in the classroom. We've actually studied that in Ohio. We've gone into a number of schools and actually tested students who had been, quote, exposed to another student. And what we found is that even when they were less than 6 feet apart, as long as everyone was wearing a mask in that classroom, there was very little spread. In fact, the spread was next to nothing in the classroom. So you add that to the fact that the Cleveland teachers, school personnel have been vaccinated. Those two things, the mask, the vaccination, make for a very, very safe environment. And so we need to get the kids back in school. I'm very hopeful that this will get worked out and that the Cleveland children will have the same opportunity that children across the state of Ohio are. 95% of all our students in the state are now back in the classroom. And it's time, frankly, for the Cleveland children to have that same opportunity as well.
Hey, Governor, you said 50 cases yesterday per 100,000. What are you basing that off of population-wise? So what is the hard number per day for the state of Ohio that you're looking for?
Well, this is a metric that we have used throughout this pandemic. And what we have seen is a dramatic decrease in that number. I think the last time I looked, Cuyahoga County, Terry, was 200 something?
Yes, right.
About 200. But these have all dropped. This continues to drop. And frankly, every single day, when thousands of more Ohioans are vaccinated, we're running 35 to 40,000 people every single day are being vaccinated. That slows the virus down. So if we can keep our mask on, keep it from spreading while we get vaccinated, we're going to get down to that number in Ohio, and we're going to be to the point where we can take off all the health regulations.
I know.
We're not there yet.
What is the actual hard number at 50 per 100,000? Are you basing it on an 8 million population, 11 million?
No. Let me try to explain this. You see, if you can go online and look at what we show. We show what every county is for the last 2 weeks.
Right.
Total number, and you can go right today and see what Cuyahoga County has been in the last 2 weeks. That then is converted to a common number, which means that whether it's a big county or a small county, it shows what the spread is. It equals it out, and it takes it per 100,000 population. So that is, you can go look at that now. Cuyahoga County now is about 200, but it's been coming down, and we think it will continue to come down.
How far away do you think we are from that
You know, I don't really know how far we are away from that, but if the vaccine continues to come into Ohio at a high rate, which we believe it will, and Ohioans continue to vaccinate, we're going to get there in the not too distant future. I mean, I've described opening day in Cleveland, Indians 30% capacity, but we could be moving away from that by May 1st. And I would hope that by the time we get to July 4th, we might be full capacity. It depends on how many people get vaccinated. And, you know, this is something that when you get vaccinated, you're doing something for yourself. I look at these as kind of a ticket to freedom, a ticket to get back to normal, and the vaccination. Those two things is how we get back to normal. And the vaccinations, when you get a vaccination, you're doing something for yourself, your family, but also for everyone else in the state. Because when we move towards that herd immunity, that's what's going to make the difference. We already have a number of people who in Ohio who have immunity without the vaccine. They've had the virus. And we don't know the number. No one can tell really what the number is. But there's a number of people who've already done that. So you take that plus the number of people who get vaccinated, we will at some point drive these numbers down, and we'll see the direct results. So the vaccine drives the virus down.
What's it like for you seeing other states that are lifting all of their, lifting all their restrictions, all their limits? What goes through your head when you see that?
Well, every state has to decide what they're going to do. Ohio has been, and Ohioans have been very successful through this pandemic. This has been a tough year. We've all lost friends. Many have lost family members. But in spite of that, we have stayed resilient. We've stayed tough. We've stayed strong. And we're also very, very caring. The plan that we put forward in Ohio is to leave no one behind. Absolutely no one. No matter where they live in Ohio, they have the access to the vaccine. So we have, I think, a unique Ohio plan that we are executing. Part of that plan says that we can't give up. And it says that we can't declare victory before there really is victory. Victory is in sight, it's just not here yet. And we've got to get there. And until we get to that point, we've got to continue to wear the mask, and we've got to continue to be careful.
Can you explain the science that says 50 per 100,000 versus why not 25 or why not a higher number of 100? Is there an explanation for that?
I consulted a number of epidemiologists and experts, and we looked at different numbers. These are numbers that we have looked at literally this entire year. Every single morning, I look at these numbers and see where we are in Ohio. The CDC says above 100 is considered high incidence. Above 50, they come up with some other category. But every expert that we consulted said, if we're driving this number and it is dropping below 50 statewide, we're in pretty good shape. Now, could it rear its ugly head back up? I suppose it could. But the more people we get vaccinated, the faster we're going to get to an open, completely open community in Ohio. And the more people get vaccinated, the more permanent that will be. So it's very, very, very important. That's why we're here in East Cleveland today. Anybody else?
All right, we've got time for about one more question.
What do you suggest for Easter and Passover at this point? Do you have any sense?
I'm sorry?
For churches and synagogues, what do you suggest for Easter and Passover at this point?
Well, we've never, unlike other states, we've never closed our churches in Ohio. We've always left them open. We've suggested that people wear a mask. We think that makes sense. If you look at Easter, you look at Passover, again, in all likelihood, we're going to be at a point where people are going to have to continue to wear a mask. But when we look to the future beyond that, again, we're going to have the opportunity to open up a lot more. So just what I would suggest for people going to church, going to synagogue, going to the mosque is always just to be careful. be careful, wear a mask, try to keep the distance. That's what we all need to do. Anybody else?
Yeah, when we go back to Cleveland teachers for 1 second.
Sure.
Can you just talk about, has anyone from your office reached out to the teachers union itself to kind of find out where the disagreement is? When you say schools have done such a great job, can you kind of just try to determine what's preventing teachers from getting back or wanting to be back in the
it's not the governor's job to get between the teachers union or any union and management. But what we have tried to do is to create a statewide safe environment and create a situation where teachers could go back. So what we did is vaccinated anybody in the Cleveland City school system who wanted to be vaccinated. That went well. It's taken place. And first vaccination, second vaccination, we know that that protects the teachers. We also know, because of studies that we have done, that in the classroom, when everyone's wearing a mask, we're not seeing much, if any. So those are the two things that I could do, two things that was my job to do, and we did those. I'm confident that the teachers union and the school will be able to work this out. It's a safe environment. There's just no doubt it's a safe environment, and we need to get our kids back to school. Thank you very much. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Governor.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good seeing you. Welcome back. Thank you. Thank you.
They're going to ask you when the county's going to transition to the metrics. That's right. I tell myself. You should have done it.
It was nice meeting you.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
You're been a big help.
Thank you for your service to our country.
God bless.
So I can